Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yes, today I'm in a much better mood. Just last week episode, I was dragged out. But today I'm doing better. And each day I will get better. And as being a business owner, you have your highs, your lows, and it's like a roller coaster. You go up and you come down, but you spin back around, but you still come to your final destination. And today I had a photo shoot. You probably see the photos out by the time this episode airs. You probably see me in my photo shoot. Oh my gosh, I look so good. But that's also up to your discretion. Click like, click share, follow, come back again, rewind, look at it. Follow, tell a friend, tell your partners, tell your parents, tell your cousins, nephews, sisters. Even if your dogs have a page, let them follow. Subscribe, comment, leave a comment below. Looking for you guys to keep me going. I want to make sure that I'm reaching a good audience. And of course, if I have one person, I always say that is a great audience. And want to make sure that I'm getting to someone. And, I want to put this content out there and give back. And just mainly just have casual business conversations. It's not about drama. It's about business, and it's about motivation. And it's about the struggles that, the day-to-day that an entrepreneur experiences, and with the highs and lows. And, this is information for you guys. To help, as I always tell. But I just want to make sure, and I always give this same speech in the beginning because I may have someone that just joined and followed. So I want to make sure they understand why I'm doing this, and I won't leave them out. But I will get me some cool, funky intros. And also, by the time this airs, we will have the giveaway going on. I have the paper here today to give this stuff, what we're giving away. 25% podcast. 20 spelled out, number 5 podcast, percent podcast rather. Yes, you will hear the mistakes, but I have someone interesting. Of course, I have not met her. I don't do no engagement. I'm going to keep that process going. But without further ado, I'm going to let her introduce herself to you all and tell you all how y'all can follow her.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, first off.
You're welcome.
Thank you. My name is Miriam Frost. I am the owner, founder of a yoga studio called Stellar Power Yoga here in Vinings, Georgia. I'm happy to be here. Been entrepreneur since 2017 after retiring from corporate. And I'm delighted to answer questions and talk about my journey so that it can help someone who is either interested in being an entrepreneur or who's already an entrepreneur and they're trying to figure out how to keep themselves motivated to continue on this journey.
And that's the thing, and that's a good thing. And that's all why I started it, because people that haven't haven't started their want to start their journey don't have the confidence. And some of them do have the confidence. And some of them overthinks and thinks that it requires so much. So what got you started?
Well, originally, years ago, I was in corporate America and I taught classes. And I was into fitness, so I always kind of had a little side hustle teaching classes in different gyms. And, long story short, I ran up on a situation where I needed to go and find various extra different type of classes to bring to the gym. I was managing Bally's Total Fitness when they were existing, and I just wanted to kind of bring something different to the gym. And I went to a place, and it was hot yoga. It was something that I hadn't been used to before. So I landed on a hot yoga class, and I loved it. The challenge, kept me coming back. But what really kept me truly involved in it was I realized that it was a platform that I can utilize to help people, because in kickboxing classes, but so much time you can motivate, and everybody kind of, goes their own way. Same thing with cycle class, but yoga's a little different. Yoga, you can actually inject your spirit into every class by using empowering words, by using motivational words. We do something in our studio that recently realized that we had already been doing, but I couldn't really put it in words. We call it gracious space. And so basically what that looks like is 4 pillars. So the first pillar is create a welcoming environment. So when people walk in, they see incense, they smell incense, they see verbiage on the wall, confidence, strength, courage. So they see the aesthetics, they hear the soft music playing. So that invites in people to come. It welcomes them in. And the second pillar is inviting in the stranger. So when they come in, everyone's welcome. So nobody just walks in and they're not paid attention to. We know immediately if you're brand new, and you've never been into the studio. So we welcome you in that way, inviting the stranger. So the environment is the first one. Inviting in the stranger is how we treat you to let you know that you are valuable. We hold space for you. We look at you and we tell you, hey, the bathroom's here. There's the cubbies, and this is where you can get started on your mat. The third pillar is we inject the spirit. That's where the piece comes in, where we're actually in class, like I may do a pose that's a warrior pose, and we may say, something like, you're powerful. Drop into the pose even deeper, find more space, see how much you can grow further into the pose. Where do you have more space to grow? Things like that to really get people to feeling their power within. And then the last pillar is what we is able to create after we use those three pillars, which is an opportunity. The member or the participant has an opportunity now where they're open to learn in public, which is a very difficult thing. So without the first three pillars, the environment, welcoming them in, injecting our spirit so that they can feel comfortable, now they have the ability to actually feel like they're comfortable enough to learn in public, and from there they grow. So to answer your question, how to get started, this is something that I couldn't do in the gym. Didn't have enough time. So when I ran into a yoga studio and I saw, wow, wait a minute, this is the perfect platform to do what I was missing in a regular fitness class.
That's pretty interesting. Mm-hmm. And thank you for, identifying the pillars for us. And I really appreciate that. So, let's go. What are some things? So you own your studio by yourself, or you?
Solely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And where's you located?
Right in Vinings. I'm between Paces Ferry and Cobb Parkway. It's literally 15 minutes from here, 10 minutes from here, actually.
I like Vinings.
Yes, nice.
Vinings is a good area, and I mean, you have to have a little coin to be in Vinings.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. You have to have a little coin. So you got a nice, so guys, that area is bougie. It's a little upscale. So you're not in a, I don't want to say what in a hood or anything, but I mean, you're in a nice area. So that means I'm more than sure the atmosphere, when you get there will be like,
Beautiful.
So I did hot yoga years ago, and I did it one time, 6 o'clock in the morning. And it was like, oh my gosh. And it wasn't that hot, but I couldn't get in positions that they was telling me to get into.
Right.
And I was much younger.
Yes.
But I'm coming to your studio.
Yes, I hope you do.
I want to get in a position that I can't get in, that I normally used to couldn't get in. So how do we start when I come? Like if I wanted to come, do I have to contact you all and make an appointment, or what, what is the?
I mean, you can reach out to us via phone or email. If you're new, people typically will say, hey, this is my first time, or I haven't done yoga in a long time. How do I start? So what we do is we set you up in a class that's like a deep stretch class. I'm not going to say beginner, because even an advanced practitioner will need a deep stretch class. So we have several different classes, and we kind of build you up. Yoga is called a practice because you have to practice to get better at it physically. And the major element of yoga is not the physical, actually. That's just one part of it. It's the spiritual, the mental, the emotional aspect of yoga that really makes people feel good. So I would, tell you, hey, come to deep stretch class first. Start out with that, and then I would move you into what we call sequence, flow, and restore, which is a little bit more poses, starting to get used to your body's getting used to it, and then we would add you to more power classes once you feel up to it. But we would give you levels to attempt. I wouldn't put you in a power class for the first time if you haven't done yoga in a long time. And even when you do get to the point where you're advanced or you're intermediate, I would still suggest that you go back to the classes like deep stretch to relax, because it's not about getting into the poses physically. So we like to say yoga is not a work out, it's a work in. Everything that you do on your mat, you actually experience in the world. So if you're on your mat, you get frustrated, when you get challenged, well, that's the way you typically respond in the world. So it helps you. I call it the magic carpet. It helps you work on yourself.
So the thing is that so when dealing with your customers, is there a target audience that you target, or how do you niche that down? Everybody's welcome.
Nope. No, for me, I'm complete diversity in its making. I look at the room and I just embrace all the different colors in the room, and it's something that my heart desires. A child, I grew up in New York, and I'm used to having. New York. Thank you. I'm not used to people being separated. The way I grew up is everybody was together, and it's not at all targeted for any size, color, male, female. It's for everyone. I have a young lady who's 13 years old who's doing my training right now for like yoga principles training, and she actually. So
you teach people how to do yoga?
Yes, I do.
And do you give them a certification?
Yes, I do.
What's your website so anybody that's listening want to get a certification in yoga?
Absolutely. They can do a yoga principles, or they can do a full 200-hour certification, and it's www.stellar-poweryoga.com.
Okay, you guys hear that? And she said it. And I mean, if you want to get your certification, and I mean, that can help out at home in some relationships, give that massage and that yoga stretching your partner, who it may be, or even just finding a friend. I mean, hey, but I got to come to one of your yoga classes. So when you started, is it a very lucrative business? Not asking you numbers, so you see it's profitable?
No, that's okay. Actually, when I first saw it, it looked like it would be a lucrative business, but that's not the reason why I got into it.
Passion.
And I feel like that I've always felt that I love doing it. I finally found a platform where I can really inject my spirit into people and teach other people how to do that as well, so that we can always all live better lives, more fulfilling, more confident, and high self-esteem lives. So it was more like the money will come. The money will come, but I'm going to keep pushing forward to doing what my true nature is. My true goal is to fight depression, help people fight depression and feel insecure or unworthy.
So you make them feel beautiful?
Absolutely.
All inside and out?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
So thank God I'm cute on the outside, so I'm coming by you to feel beautiful
Yes,
on the inside.
Cute.
Thank you. You know what they used to tell me when I was young? You're cute in the face and thin in the waist. So with this business, how many employees do you have working for you?
Right now there is 10 of us.
Wow.
Yeah. So prior to COVID, there was 15. And then, of course, we drilled down to about 4. And then now we're back up to 10, and I'm still hiring, and we're doing teacher training. And now that people are coming back. Yeah. People are coming back because of COVID. So now the classes are more full, and they feel more comfortable coming back since, all the stuff with COVID.
But the thing about it is that what I like about your stories you're telling me is that you created more opportunities and more streams of revenue. You just didn't stick to one thing. You created more streams of revenue to generate, and that's the 25%, 25 from coaching, 25 from the high yoga, 25 from whatever. Right. It all adds up to $1. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
That you are, generating revenue from all avenues.
Yes.
And I mean, I love that. I'm always about a multi-dollar for a coin. Mm-hmm. But I mean, now that I've learned that I've gotten older, I don't just do business for money. I do business for passion. And the money will come. Yes. Again, I don't make any money off of this podcast. I tell people that every week. I have to spend money out my pocket. I don't have sponsors. I mean, hopefully one day I do get some, because that'll be fun. That'll be cute. But I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm at the stage where I'm enjoying talking to my people, meeting new people, building a platform to where as though people can see the different type of businesses and you can be successful. No, every business won't get you a Mercedes-Benz, or every business won't get you that Bentley that you want, but it will get you that peace of mind. Absolutely. And having something of your own. I wish I had this. Well, I mean, they did have podcasts in my younger days, but I didn't pay attention to them.
Sure.
And I'm glad they have this. So when you started your business, you started doing teaching and stuff like that. So when you started your business, was it hard? How did you hone in on Vinings?
Well, I lived in the area.
So, you've been with coins.
Yeah, no. I was in corporate. I just happened to like the area, and I just kept coming back
I
and
love
coming
that
back
area.
into the area until like I found a place that I could afford. And that's what happens.
Patience.
Yes, you just keep coming
Y'all
back.
hear that, right?
Yeah, and I found a little
Patience.
spot right behind the
Patience is a virtue.
Yes, I found a little spot right behind the Quick Trip, and I'm like, you know what, I'm good. I can hang out back
I
here.
love the Quick Trip.
Yeah, so you just got it's like it's continuing to walk, even though you don't know where your purpose is going to land, but you continue to walk. I just kept coming back to the area until I found something. I was in corporate at the time, taking care of my mom, and she was living with me. And once I was in corporate for 20 years, and it was time to kind of make a shift. And I knew that the time was coming up for me to kind of just take the money, take the retirement money, and move on. And I said, you know what? If I'm going to open a business, thank you. So if I'm going to have a business, I want it to be close by. Because I had my mom, so I had to make it convenient to get back and forth.
And that's the thing about it, guys. And as she was explaining that it takes time. You have to think things through, and you have to make through the process. And you can't just open a business on a corner because it's a corner. You have to scale things through to, look at it and be like, okay, hey, I want to go in this neighborhood. I don't want to just go anywhere and open a business, because that doesn't mean that you're going to have instant success.
That's exactly right.
So, and people, you have to look into that. And so that brought you success because you're still around, because the first 5 years is hard.
Yeah, it really is. There was another spot that I had looked at that was cheaper. And it was in Howell Mill Road, a little bit off of 75.
I like that area.
And it's a nice area, up and coming area at the time. It was like literally half cheaper, but the convenience was, you have to kind of weigh out what's more important to you. It takes me 10 minutes to get to my studio, leaving from my apartment to my studio, and it would take me 15, 20 minutes to get on the road. That was a big difference for convenience for me. Some people, if you have that, space in your day-to-day, that's great. But I needed to be there just in case someone had to call out for a class. My objective was to get there to make sure that the class was covered and it wasn't going to be a strain on me. So I needed to be close by. So I took the one that cost more money to lease than the one down the street, further down. So you kind of got to weigh your lifestyle and what's most important to you. I knew managing gyms through experience that canceling classes is not a good look
at all.
So if it's
but that's the reflection of your business.
If it's trouble for me to get there, so here I come, I'm stressed out, getting to a class where I'm going to try to make you unstressed. It makes no sense.
No, it makes no sense. Backwards. And the guys that she was saying is, if you caught on to this, she was like, sometimes you can pay a little bit more for your rent that provide good quality services. So you have to, I would say, I recommend that you provide great customer service, and those are things that you should do, and you should look in like, hey, I can get here where I won't delay, I won't have a struggle and a stress like, I got to drive there, because I bought a home about 20 minutes away from here, and actually I used to live 8 minutes away from here, 6 minutes away from here. It used to take me to get home sometimes, and I'll be driving here sometimes. Like I had a situation with my dog. Yesterday it was raining, and I left my dog outside because they're doing constructions on a home. So I left the dog outside, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's raining. I got to run and get home and get my baby inside because it's raining. And I was like, Lord, it's taking me forever and ever to get home. Yeah. And I was just like, I wish I did live close. So that's one of the things that does help.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's good. So tell me, is there much competition over there where you at, and was you afraid about it? Because it's not something you invented differently.
So I learned not initially, but I didn't go in. It didn't matter who was around. And competition wasn't something that I kept my focus on. You have to be mindful as a business entrepreneur.
Please say that.
Yeah.
Please say that again.
Competition, you do not want to focus on competition because it throws you off of your target. You have to, it's a distraction, and you can't let distractions get to you. And if you start thinking about other things being competition, then it's going to distract you. But the main thing is, I learned real quick, nobody can be you. So they can do the same exact thing you do, and they can even verbatim spit out the same verbiage that you just said, and they still cannot do it like you.
People ask me all the time, and I said this on last week's episodes. They ask me, I'm trying to be like you, and I tell them all the time, it takes years of practice.
Yeah, we all have our own unique energy, and the beauty of our higher power has created us. Like, just like we're in this room now, our relationship could never be duplicated
At all.
because we're so unique.
And it won't, and nobody can't dare try it.
Right. So, and what we put out, can nobody do it like you, because it cannot be duplicated. I tell people there's a reason why we all have different fingerprints, even identical twins, because nobody can leave a mark like us. So speak.
But I always wanted a twin.
You always wanted a twin?
And then I
But
started.
then you have another cute guy around.
Oh, I don't think there couldn't be no cuter. I am very handsome, I must say. I toot my own horn.
Yeah, but I did want to share something. It's a Steve Jobs quote that's really, really
you know
important.
what? And I know every week I ask for the favorite quote, but we're going to do drum roll because she is on it and she is ready to go. And no, I didn't tell her in advance. Give me that Steve Jobs quote.
Well, it is, I would rather be, instead of being the richest man in the grave, I would rather be the happiest man when I go to bed at night knowing that I helped someone.
And it reminds me of an old saying. If I can help someone along the way, then my journey wasn't in vain. Yes. And I love that.
Yes.
And that's one of my favorite quotes. And people have to understand that it's not always about money, because the thing is, I look at it, when you have money, you can only you're going to buy a house. And when you have extra money, you're going to buy another house. You have to furnish that house, you furnish it. So when you have money, you're buying duplicate of the same things.
Yes.
That's all people doing, and buying a duplicate of the same thing and traveling to go to different functions. And the money, it's not like when you have this money, you can do so much more.
Exactly.
You can, but it's like you're still buying another house. You're buying a watch, just a more expensive watch. You're buying a car, just more expensive cars. And the thing about it, you got 10 cars in your driveway now.
Yep.
And it's like, I don't ever want to be that person if I was a millionaire. I want my one house. Well, I would like a house on the West Coast. I would like a house on the West Coast. That is a goal of mine, because I like visiting there.
Yeah.
And I like visiting New York. So those are two places I would like to buy a home. But the thing is that, when you talk about wealth and riches, people don't understand the definition of wealth and riches. And sometimes you're wealth and rich within. And what's holding you in your, misfortune is yourself. Because your mind is so framed to focus on chasing getting the money versus focusing on being happy and enjoying what you do, and then the success will come. I told this to my friend today. He was telling me that, one of his girl, well, not one of his girl, his lady was, I don't want to say that where they sound like, oh, you saying I have more than one woman. No, that's not what I was saying. So he was telling me that his lady was stating that she wanted to be famous. And I told him, tell her when she becomes successful at what she do, the fame will come automatically. And you can't be famous if you're not being successful. Yeah. You have to complete and get successful as a task in order to grow. So what are some tips you want to give some people that want to be in your field? Yeah,
well, in the yoga industry, I mean, with any entrepreneur, because I get a lot of people ask me questions, and they, I'm sure when people see what you do, you make it look easy in their eyes, and they think that they can duplicate it very easily. Extremely. Yeah.
They always tell me that.
Yeah.
You make it look so easy. So what are some some tips you would like to give?
For me, I think just stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
Learn your place on your spot.
Yeah, like stay in your lane.
Learn your place on your spot.
When you do see yourself in a situation where you're blessed, sit in your blessing. Because when you sit in your blessing, what happens is it's easier for you to sit while you watch someone else sit in their blessings.
I like that. And you know what? This used to be the storage room. When I got this location, it was very easy for me to get. And I didn't understand it. When I was just up, I was tired. I was ready to move. And I got this location, and I got this room, in the room where the podcast is. I was like, oh, this is going to be the storage room. And I piled stuff in it for a year. And then I was looking at a place to go rent to do the podcast, and it hit me. And, I feel God orders your footsteps. And I went to the back, and I was like, I can set the back room up as a podcast room. And as I'm sitting here, and I was like, while I'm talking to you, I even dose to think of how blessed I am. And it's like, while I'm really sitting back here doing my podcast, as you talking to the things to get to not be stressed. And I was looking like at my old location, I couldn't do that. And that's why God removed me to this, because he saw this in the future when I didn't see it. And that's a good
Sure,
thing.
yeah.
And that's when your business grows and stuff of that nature. And people really, so was it a lot to start your business? I had to just go on my tangent about me, so y'all got to come back.
I think because coming out of corporate America, when a lot physically, you mean, or financially, or
Financially.
both? Oh, well, I kind of had a plan, maybe, 20 grand. I put it together,
Listen, guys, gals, my peeps, my family, her business, 20K,
Yeah.
not much. Nowadays, back in the days, there used to be a lot, but nowadays it's not a lot.
not a lot.
And you can have your own business and have it getting started and generating your own revenue.
Yeah.
So you guys got to look at it. And the thing about it is that I tell you every week, just start.
Yeah, and you have to be creative. Like, I didn't have the whole 20 grand, but you have to be creative. So basically, you have to put your thinking hat on. So you create a relationship capital where whatever it is that you're selling or whatever service you're providing, you make sure that you give it to people, you show it to people. Sometimes, you can actually donate your service, so just so that you can build the relationship capital of what you're actually doing. So when I opened the studio, I already had two things going for me. So I had $10,000, which was fine to get the lease going, everything else. But I had the other $10,000 came from pre-memberships, people that I had already done yoga for. I said, hey, the door is not open, but I can give you a 6-month membership, and you pay 6 months and it'll be a year. You pay 3 months, you'll get 6 months, and some people that really gave me $1,000 checks. I felt like a criminal or something, because I was going to people's backyards getting checks from them.
You wasn't. But you did what you had to do.
And what happened, and let me tell you how well it worked out. Not only did I have all these people vouching for me and giving me these checks.
They gave you belief.
And they believed in me, but they were also, guess what? Bodies in the room when I opened the door.
Automatically.
So because they have pre-memberships. So automatically so now when you see people in the room, people say, okay, so now it's a legitimate business because people are actually here. So it was 2 for the price of 1.
And people don't understand that. And it's like when you start, but that goes to your 25%. Mm-hmm. You did what you had to do to get those doors open. And the thing about this is, though, folks, she did it a smart way. She just started and she got there. She was like, she believed that she was going to do it. And you got to be creative, and you can't have greed when you're in business. She wasn't looking for the full 100% profit. She was looking for 25% profit so she can help achieve the goal to where she can be in a position to get the 100% profit. So you guys got to understand that, and that's something I want to talk to people. When I talk to them, because people get what they want to understand, like, oh my gosh, like I can't afford it, I can't do it. But you made it where it wasn't dependent on credit. I had this, I done this, I built this, and now I can move on to the next situation. And you remind me of what I always tell my team: don't tell me the fax machine broke. Come back and tell me that it's faxed with the confirmation, because I'm still gonna look at you and say, did you fax it? I'm dead serious. So, and I mean, I like that, and that's very, like, wow. It's like, that was very creative of you, and you did that. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Way to go.
Thank
And very proud of you, and I'm very happy. And I will come give me some sessions, because I'm in my neck, my back, my neck, my back. So, yes, I mean, but hot yoga, I know y'all won't judge me when I get there, and I can't get in certain positions.
We have a no judgment policy.
Oh, what time do y'all start in the morning?
We have 6 o'clock classes in the morning, 10:30, 12 noon, 4:30, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and on Saturday and Sundays. But what I did want to share, I think is really important for your listeners, is that having the desire and the push to get the business starting. If you have that, you're an entrepreneur mindset, you got it. But that's not really the key to sustain. The key to sustain is all the moving parts that you did not expect. You have to battle through those too.
Say that again. Because didn't I just tell y'all this last week? I had to battle through the rough, tough day that I had. And I just said these exact same words, that I had to battle through it. I'm fighting through it. I am trying to get through it, and people don't understand it. You have to fight.
There's a lot of moving parts, and people think just because you offer a product or a service that's all you have to do. No, that's only a smidget, if even 5% of. You have to make sure the legal is on point. You got to make sure the liability waivers are on point. You got to make sure there's so many, whatever industry you're in, I suggest work in that industry first. Check out that industry, or if you're in corporate America, because corporate America helped me, because I was in operations, to understand all the moving parts. There's a lot of moving parts, and that's what deters people from continuing in their business, and they wind up giving up and calling it failure. I don't think it's failure. It's just that you're not prepared, and know that, be expecting that there's a lot of other moving parts that you need to be aware of. You got to do your taxes. If you have people that you hire, you got to do 1099s. You have to, if you look around your circle, in your circle of friends or family, that you probably have somebody who does legal. You probably have somebody who does taxes. So you have to look around and see where can you pull resources from. Like the teachers that I hired, one of them was an attorney. When I needed a letter written, I was like, hey, she was the one who wrote it. So use the resources that you have. They don't have to know all your business about the business, but you just say, hey, I can, if you want to.
In other words, she's telling you guys to network.
Yes.
And get it together and network with your options. I mean, it is just such amazing. And I mean, it's so much information I'm learning. Of course, I'm ready to eager. So do your 6 o'clock in the morning classes be full?
It's 10, anywhere. It's an average from 10 to 12. We only allow, right now we're doing 25 people in the room. But the 6 a.m. classes at Tuesday and Thursdays is an average about 10.
Is it hot in there?
No. So now there's a yoga that's called Bikram. That's really hot. It's over 100 degrees. We are only 85 to 95. So we are considered a heated studio.
Okay, good. Mm-hmm. Because I don't want to do nothing over 100 degrees. I cannot sweat.
Yeah, you can't.
That's worse than a sauna.
Yeah, it's really bad. You can't really... you can't, it's not, to me, it's not safe.
And it's not enjoyable. It's like you're eating your food when it's real hot and you can't even eat your food and you just be like, you're like blowing your food.
And you're hungry at the same time.
Sometimes it's like, this defeats the purpose.
That's so true.
I mean, you needed the right temperature, and I think 85 degrees is fine. So y'all know I'm gonna just go get my little sweats, my little tights, and I'm gonna get my little blanket. No, it's a mat. I'm gonna get my little mat blanket and just go to Charlie Brown and just lay down.
Well, I'm gonna look for you.
Yes, you should. You should. I mean, it was amazing having you to come.
Thank you.
Is there anything else you want to leave and tell to the followers and listeners?
No, just if you want to get into business on your own, whatever industry it is, just be sure that you look at the holistic task that you will need to do, and don't be intimidated by them, because you don't have to do them all at 100%. You can just have a little piece on a project plan that, like on a spreadsheet, a piece of paper that, okay, I got to have this done, but don't let it deter you. Just allow time to get all of it done, and it'll come together. And stay strong. Don't give up.
Thank you. That was very informative. Don't forget, guys, click like, click share. Also, don't forget to do the follow to get the $100 gift cards that we announced, and it's not $50 anymore. And, click like, click share, and, follow the social media page and platforms, and we're giving out gift cards. But I want to thank you guys for hanging in. I want to thank you for coming. Can you tell them again where they can find you?
Yeah. Again, my name is Miriam Frost. I'm the owner of Stellar Power Yoga. We're located in Vinings, Georgia. And we are on Instagram at Stellar, STELLAR, Power Yoga. And yeah, just come visit us. We're on Paces Ferry and Cobb Parkway, not too far from the Brave Stadium.
Oh, and don't forget, we are by the Brave Stadium, so we're going to get the grooving. Click like, click share, tell a friend, and follow. And guys, this get started. Stop making it so hard. You're going to work through the kinks. You're going to get there. It may not be a smooth start, but it can be an awesome and amazing finish, and it can be so rewarding. Mm-hmm. So go after it. Do it. Jump off the porch and have faith. And at the end of the day, if it don't work out, you can always jump again. Bye.